Moving on. James says, I had a lead gen brand that I'm building out multiple major cities, but the domains are all brand plus city.com. I have 2 sites with GMBs already ranked and rented on pay per lead. My question is, can I interlink these sites since they are the same brand? I have one main site that is brand.com.au, or should I link out to all the location sites from that? Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't interlink all the subdomain sites, or excuse me, the separate domains. Excuse me, that's what I meant. Um, I wouldn't interlink all of those because that's a footprint, for sure. I know it's all the same brand, but they're different domains. And so when you start working different domains in, that can create problems because Google can determine that you're trying to manipulate search by creating your own link network. That's what that is. So that's why I use subdomains instead of for a number of reasons. I use subdomains because they're all connected to the same domain. They're the same brand, but I don't interlink subdomains though. Just to be clear, I'm not interlinking from each of my subdomain sites to other subdomain sites. We do link from the main root domain, the home page on the root domain, to use that as and it doesn't have to be the home page. It can be a page of the root domain that is now a locations directory that then links down to all of the subdomain sites locations on this same domain, right? So yes, you can do that from the root domain as well with all your separate domains, but I wouldn't interlink them just the same as I don't interlink subdomains when it's a multi-subdomain project. Okay. But yes, from the root domain or the main branded website, whether it's a homepage or another page on the site that says locations or service areas or whatever, yeah, you can certainly link down to those pages, but I would not interlink between them because that can create problems. Okay. I think you should be using subdomains though, man, because number one, you have a separate domain now every time. So you're starting from scratch every time. Every time you launch a new location with a separate domain, which is brand plus the city.com or whatever, thinking about that, you're starting from scratch, from zero, every single time you launch a new site. Why not use a subdomain of this primary domain? Right? Because for every single project that you start building links to, it's going to benefit the parent domain, which means any subsequent sibling subdomains are going to automatically inherit link authority and relevance from the parent domain. And so over time, you accrue this massive amount of relevance and link authority to the domain so that when you deploy subsequent subdomains for new locations, they tend to rank significantly faster with no additional work or a lot less work because they're automatically inheriting the link authority and relevance from the parent domain. So why start from scratch over and over and over again? I don't understand that. I don't understand why people do that. I'm not picking on you, James, by the way, just to be clear. I just don't understand why people do that. Why not build everything out on subdomains of the main brand so that you can accrue authority and benefit from it for each location, right? Like here's an example. Like I just pulled this up right now. So you guys see I've got 18 Felling Pro sites here. These are all subdomains of felling.pro. There's 18 of them here. And out of 18, there's 7 of them that have their average out of all the keywords that we're tracking, which ranges between most of the time, like this one's only got 3 locations instead of 5 locations. That's why it's a little bit less. But it's on average, the keywords that I'm tracking are going to be 5 or 6 keywords times, or 6 or 7 keywords, excuse me, times 5 locations. That's what we're tracking. Well, 5 locations plus the county. So 6 locations is going to be anywhere between 6 keywords and 6 locations, or 7 keywords and 6 locations, depending on. Sometimes I include stump grinding, sometimes I don't. So anyway, what I'm trying to get at is you can see that my keywords range from about 35 to about 42 on average. And out of these 18 sites that are showing here for the Felling Pro brand, all subdomain sites, 7 out of 18 of them have, out of the keywords being tracked, the average position is 10 or less, right? 10 or below, which means they're ranking well. This one, this one, this one, this one, this one. Here's another one, right? There's 7 out of 18 that are ranking with the average between 35 and 42 keywords, somewhere in that range, with the average ranking position at 10 or less, right? So 10 or better. So just goes to show you again. And by the way, it's like, look at this one. We'll just open this one up for a minute. Take a look at for this year. So you'll see this is a brand new site, albemarle.felling.pro, right? So this is for Charlottesville, Virginia. That's Albemarle County, but Charlottesville is the main city in that county, and so that's the main area. That's the one keyword that's still not performing all that well. But look at this. We got 31 out of 42 keywords on the top five, 34 out of 42 on the top 10. You can see this was a brand new site, guys. I just launched this site on September 12th or 13th or something like that, September 15th, whatever it was, somewhere around there. So it's not even a month old yet. And look where it's climbed up to, right? It's because it automatically inherited authority from the Felling Pro domain and relevance. Does that make sense? So I'm just pointing this out because, you know, I don't like to see SEOs that are causing a lot more work for themselves than they need to. And going with a separate and unique domain every time, you're starting from scratch every time. And I would recommend that you use a subdomains instead. It's smarter, it's more efficient, you'll spend less on domains, you'll benefit from the links that you're building to other locations. New locations will instantly benefit from that. It's just so much more efficient. Okay.